Hey guys, I just want to make a little video to tell you about my top 5 tools I recommend and I think are necessary for any van build. So without further ado, let's jump into it, starting with number 5. All right guys, coming in at number 5 is my electrical multi-tool. This thing does honestly like everything you need electric wise, and even some things non-electric. With this you can cut wire, you can crimp wire, you can strip wire. I'm pretty sure they even make some of these that could make you a sandwich if you need to. This thing really is a jack of all trades when it comes to the electrical space, and that is why it earned its place in the top 5. At number 4, we got the jigsaw. Get jiggy. This one I actually burned out cutting through the butcher block. I got just enough and then I killed it. To be fair, it is like 50 years old, I think. But anytime you need to cut a shape in something, you're not cutting from the edge, but rather you're cutting in the middle of something, such as the butcher block, or like I use this when I cut the hole in my roof to install my fan. Jigsaw super handy and honestly really necessary. I don't even know how else you would really cut through that. This thing, very handy, and that is why we're ranking it at number 4. Coming in at number 3, we got the circle saw. This is like the maybe more poor man's version, should I say, of a table saw. But I love this thing. The only reason I didn't use a table saw instead was I already had this and I didn't want to justify, or I couldn't justify rather, spending the money on it. So if you do have yourself a table saw, or you got the money to spend, I would probably use that instead because it's easier to get straighter cuts. But that said, with the right blade, this circle saw can cut anything. It'll cut wood, it'll cut metal. I've used it to cut plastic. It'll cut the awkward tension in certain social settings, even if you use it right. So yeah, circle saw coming in at number 3. All right, coming in at number 2 is kind of a twofer. I have measuring tools. First up, we have the tape measurer, classic, the old adage, measure twice, cut once. It holds true. Make sure you measure everything you need appropriately before you're making your cut, because once you cut something, it's really tough to go back. In many cases, you cannot. Secondly, part 2 of this is my right angle. This thing is fantastic. One, if you have to measure very short distances, as it tops out at 7 inches. However, it has this groove here that lets you just get a flat, perfectly straight line every time. Very handy. Again, measure twice, cut once. So yeah, number 1, to really drill that point home, we got our battery powered drill. This thing you can put a drill bit in there to drill holes, which I've used 1,000 times. I'll just throw a Phillips bit in there and push a bunch of screws, which I've also done probably 1,000 times. You can throw a hole saw in there to cut a hole in the floor of your van, or cut the hole in some wood to run some wires through, whatever you need a hole in, this thing can cut it. So yeah, I definitely recommend a little handheld battery operated drill. I also use my Torx driver a bunch, but I felt kind of redundant including that in the list because with a Phillips bit, they can both kind of serve the same function. All right guys, well I hope you all learned something watching this video here. If you have a tool that you think belongs in the top 5 that you feel I missed, please share it down below. I'm still trying to learn. This is my first van conversion, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's some great tools out there that I'm missing. So please spread the knowledge and spread the love, and I'll see you guys next time. And be sure to like and subscribe wherever that stuff is. Bye-bye. All right, guys.